Welcome to TalkersOfGeeks.com. Justin here, and today we're back with more video game reviews. And today we're going to be reviewing Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed, which is available for your PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. And as always, I give you a brief synopsis of the game, so here we go. Strap on the proton pack and ready the PKE meter. Work together in a squad of 4 Ghostbusters to track, trick, and trap roaming ghosts haunting local breweries, museums, dock ships, and more. Or, as the lone ghost, try to get to the stage haunt level to 100% by scaring civilians and possessing objects while using slimy powers to thwart the opposing team. Now, this game does actually have a story mode. Now, those who are familiar with the Ghostbusters Afterlife end credits, this is the exact scene from that, so I'm very sorry for the spoiler if you haven't seen the movie. But this takes place right after Afterlife as Ray and Winston go back to the old headquarters Firehouse and they reopen your Ghostbusters. And this is where you and your creative character come into play as you are taking on a new story as Ray and Winston are trying to keep the ghosts in New York City under wraps as you face a new big bad. And that's all I'm going to say about the story. It's fun, it's solid, and I actually didn't expect a full-blown story in a multiplayer game like this. But you know what? It works, and it was very fun. So speaking of game, let's talk a little bit about the gameplay. Now, the first thing you're going to be doing in this game is creating your Ghostbuster. And I had a blast doing it, trying to make him look as accurate to that handsome young man, which is me, as possible. One thing I was really shocked about is the fact that there is a lot of detailed customization with this. As you continue to level up, as the more you play the game, you will be able to unlock different type of outfits, different type of color schemes for your outfits. You also get to unlock different accessories to customize your hats. You can wear glasses, gloves, elbow pads. Different hairstyles you unlock. The more you play, there's no microtransaction, but the more you play, the more you get to unlock things. And that's what I love to see about games like this. They encourage you to keep playing, so the more you play, the more cool stuff you're going to be unlocking. So right now I'm just trying to find glasses that match my real life glasses, and these are the ones that I will say are damn close to it. And I will just have to say, like I said, I was pleasantly surprised and really happy about how deep in detail the customization is. You get to choose your voice. There's various faces that you can do. You can morph them a little bit to make it look as accurate as possible. It's not the most detailed customization that you see in other games, but it's nice for a game like this, which I was pleasantly surprised. Now, speaking of game, how does this game play? Now, as I stated before, Ghostbusters is a 4v1 setup where players will either play as part of a team of new Ghostbusters or a singular ghost. Now, as a Ghostbuster, your job is simple. You have to bust some ghosts. And the way to do that is you'll be using your various tools. Obviously, your proton pack and your trap and your PKE meter are the keys to it. And, of course, as you can see from gameplay footage right here, I brought my friends along with me for the ride. And I can tell you, it is so fun playing with your friends instead of bots because there's so much team strategy you can do. Especially if you're in a party, your friends could call out, hey, the ghost is here. You go to that location, and there's other things you have to do besides busting ghosts. As a Ghostbuster, it is your job to also keep the civilians in their locations calm. If you do not keep those civilians calm, they're going to leave the building, which will increase the ghost haunt meter. Your job is to destroy all the rifts that the ghost leaves, destroy the rifts, and then finally capture the ghost. Rifts are how the ghost will teleport or transport from different areas of the place that the ghost is haunting. There's 3 rifts in all. Once you defeat all 3 rifts, you have to face the ghost, trap the ghost, and you as the Ghostbusters win. Also, I have to say this, as a Ghostbuster, watch out for the damage that you do. Now, as for the ghost, trapping and the gameplay controls very well. I played this and reviewed this on the PS4. So the R2 button is how you shoot for your proton pack. L2 is to throw your traps. Once you tether your ghost, it's up to you to drag your ghost into that trap. You use that by using the analog stick of left and right to try to get the ghost into the trap. Very easy to control, very easy to pick up. Now, as the ghost, this is where one lucky person in your party is going to have the most fun of this game, is actually being the ghost. And it's actually pretty challenging as the ghost too, because as the ghost, you have various tools to help you as well. You can haunt various objects. You can possess objects, as you can see my ghost is about to do. Possessing objects to get away. But what the possessing the objects does is actually helps your ghost's energy, spirit level, energy get back to 100. That way the ghost can continue to do his ghostly things of haunting. Now, as you can see on my lower screen, you see my ghost has a variety of attacks. Triangle, L1, and R1. These attacks are used to help you defend yourself. You can summon other little spooks and minis, and you can do a powerful attack here. As you can see me just knocking my good friend down and then just stripping her of her proton pack, or not stripping of a proton pack, but kind of damaging the proton pack and giving me time to get away. The ghost's job is to make sure that they haunt the place 100%. And to do that, you have to haunt objects, you have to scare civilians, and of course, keep your Ghostbusters distracted. Now, another great thing you do is that you also have upgrades, especially as a Ghostbuster. As the game progresses and as you earn points and collect fungus and things of that nature, you will be able to upgrade your proton pack. And this is very crucial if you want to continue to play, because the more you upgrade, the more it's going to be easy for you to catch those ghosts. The more level you get, trust me, it's not a cakewalk. The ghosts do get tough. Now, the one thing is that every upgrade has some of a trade-off. As you can see here, what I have right here, you see that my steam control is little low compared to my tether creation speed. That's also low. But in the distance, I had more tether health. I have more equipped speed, which will help me catch ghosts and be able to shoot my proton pack and my blast, my beam, a little bit better. So there's a lot of configurations. You just have to figure out which one works for you and which aesthetic. For me personally, I was like, man, which aesthetic for me works better? What actually makes my Ghostbuster look really, really good? A lot of details in this game, which I really was not really. I was really surprised about, because I was not expecting this much deep of gameplay and customization when it comes to this game. So overall, amazing gameplay. So here's some voice acting.
Sounds like a lot of commotion going on, considering that I specifically asked for you to keep Eddie at bay.
Let me guess. Eddie's hypothetical science didn't go as planned, and Nameless was able to get the slip on him, opening a cross-dimensional doorway with the intent of bringing some of his foul-mouthed friends to the party?
We need to close.
Talk a little about the graphics and voice acting and the sound. Of course, Dan Aykroyd is back, so it's Ernie Hudson as the respectable Winston and Ray, and they nail it out the park. And as far as graphics go, just here's a quick tour of the Firehouse. Those who are huge Ghostbuster fans, this is straight down to the T. Everything is intact from Venkman's desk. You also have the lockers of Spangler, Winston, Peter, Ray. That's all here. And of course, the pole is here as well. We have new additions such as where we're going to keep our fungus and spores as you collect them through the levels. There's so much detail here. Absolutely had no problem online with hiccups. Had none of that. No, online worked very well. Had no problems at all. So my final thoughts for this: Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed gets a solid B. Only reason it's not getting an A, because I'm hoping that we're going to get a little bit more maps. And there are times where it might feel a bit repetitive in certain aspects of the game, especially when the story mode, when they just tell you, okay, in order to see the next cutscene, you got to keep busting ghosts, and you're really just going to the same locations. But they do offer you some challenges that will keep the game fresh. So the more you unlock and the more you play, the more new challenges await you. And that's how you can keep the game coming fresh to you. But I would like to see a little bit more locations, a little bit more maps. Hopefully we'll get those down the line. I would love to see the subway where Vigo, the Carpathian, was having his river of slime in there. So there's so many other dream locations from the Ghostbusters mythos that I would definitely love to see. Voice acting is top notch. The gameplay solid. Frame rates I had no issues with. Online was great. I played it on my PlayStation 4 base. So this is the PS4 version, by the way, and graphics is good. This is a Ghostbusters game that you have been waiting for. And if you've been waiting for a new Ghostbusters game since the Ghostbusters the video game that came out in the PS3 era, this is up for you. It's time to bust out that Proton Pack, and it's time to have a good time and smash some ghosts. This is Justin from TacosGeeks.com saying later days. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and visit Tacos.